everyone. I'm Grimm the Reaper, but I go by Grimm.
And I'm Sugar, yeah, but
Go by Sugar.
Sugar?
Yeah. And we're hosts of this weeb-based podcast, Ohayo, Waifu, where we talk about everything and anything related to anime or manga. This podcast is currently not sponsored, unfortunately, but we would like to give a small warning that there may be potential spoilers said throughout the podcast. So hello, everyone. Welcome. This is our second episode. This is crazy. We're on a roll now.
I'm so excited.
This is going to be a little bit more frequent now that I am currently more available and I'm able to actually get these projects on the move. But we're gonna get started with the first question of what have you been watching recently?
What have you been watching?
What have I been watching? Do you want me to start with me?
I can talk. I've tried to watch. It's called Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, whatever how you pronounce that.
Okay.
And it's like a romance anime.
Oh.
It's very short, and I've seen like good comments about it, and I tried watching it, and I didn't like it.
Is it new or
No, I think it's kind of old, but not old, but
not like a recent?
Yeah, not really recent, but like it says 2014, so it's like not too bad. But I've seen like almost like all romance anime, and so I tried this one, and I didn't like it. I feel like it's funny, but like I'm at episode like 11 and nothing happened, and I'm like, ah.
But like, what were people like saying about it though?
Well, like when you watch like when you go on YouTube and you go like top 10 romance anime, it came up often. Like a lot of people like would put them in their top 10 animes. So I was like, I mean, must be good.
But like, okay, so like, what like, is it just like the aspect of like the romance itself, or is it?
Well, the thing is like the anime starts where the girl wants to like confess her crush to the dude, and the dude is like a blockhead, and he doesn't get it at all, and she's asking her to she's asking him to be his assistant because he draws mangas. And like, so she's like, whatever, sure, I'll help you, because she's in art club and she draws like really good. But like, and so like every episode is funny, and it's like comedic, because they go and like they it's like all around the manga he draws, and it's very funny. But then it's episode 11 and he still hasn't gotten any idea that she has a crush on him since episode 1.
Well, how many episodes are there?
It says 12.
Okay, so like everything's gonna drop in that last episode then.
Probably. Like I started episode 11, but I didn't watch it yet. But like, still, it really like it bothered me. I was hoping for some kind of thing to like slowly blossom and him showing some interest and stuff.
Yeah.
But nothing.
Well, I know that recently you just read or watched the My Hero movie as well, correct?
Oh my god.
Can I just say, okay, the other thing, I don't know if I said this at the very start, I am going to give a small warning that there may be potential spoilers said through the podcast. We're just going to be kind of go into depth of the anime that we're talking about. So like, just heads up for that. But back to the question before. I personally felt that the My Hero movie was literally just a remake of like Die Hard.
Oh my god, I haven't seen Die Hard in so long.
But like, think about it. Like, Midoriya is like trying to like get like Midoriya and like the gang are trying to like get through to the top of this tower to like specific things to like get out radios and stuff like that. And like this main guy's like trying to like get like all these specific things. He has like all these hostages that were like having a party. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like it was very much so Die Hard. And like, I'm not complaining because like it was good, but like, it was literally just Die Hard.
It's funny when you mention it. I can definitely like imagine the writers of My Hero Academia like watching Die Hard and be like, huh. I can
That'd
see
be a good
plot.
idea. Because like, I thought of it, like, I didn't complain that it was very similar to Die Hard. Like, I still enjoyed the movie itself.
Mm-hmm.
it just like the one thing that made me kind of upset regarding the movie was the fact that like a lot of the information that happened in the movie wasn't really talked about like in the series, like moving forward, you know?
I know. Oh
and I'm
God.
like,
because I've watched like all the seasons and then watched the movie, and we never hear about like that girl. Like we never like
Melissa.
see her again. Yeah, Melissa. We never see her again in like the season after that, which is like it happens after.
I mean, technically, I guess, like, with Melissa, she's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back and, like, study or whatever. And I'm like, that's fine, but, like, exchange numbers with Midoriya already.
Email something.
Like, let's go. Make this happen. I don't know. Like, for me, like, I really enjoyed it. And I do hope that they bring Melissa back. Because I felt like she was such, like, a good character for Midoriya to interact with. Because of, like, the similarities that they had between each other. Whereas, like, Midoriya's, like, only been, like, subjected to people who have had quirks their whole life, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's, like, to me, like, I feel like they need to bring her back because, like, you could see Midoriya feeling a little bit more comfortable around her. And I don't know.
I said they belong together.
They belong. They need to be together.
But it's true. Like, and she's always been so, like, positive about... Like when she learned she didn't have a quirk, she was really disappointed. But then she worked around that and became like she didn't let it bring her down.
I was gonna say like
good.
Midoriya was down for a bit in terms of realizing he wasn't going to develop a quirk. Like I feel like he's like, oh well, I'm just gonna write a lot of information down in a book, and it's like, I guess like, but you could always tell like he wasn't fully like happy with everything. Like he was very whiny for a long time. Like he cried over everything. He was so determined for like so many things, and it's like it was just kind of like frustrating in that aspect.
I know, and I think that's why Melissa is so good because, and like she's so smart.
I know.
And like she worked like the gauntlet she made is so good, even though he broke it, but it's so good.
I agree.
And it's so useful for him. I mean, they like kind of like complement each other.
I know they do, and I feel like for that's another ship that I want that to happen. Like I just feel like right now, like a lot of people are shipping people, where it's like, oh, that's just supposed to happen. Like with Midoriya and Uraraka or whatever her name is, they're just like, yeah, like she needs to be together, and I'm like, yeah, but you're not actually looking at like the whole picture. Whereas like she would complement Bakugo so well, and it's like
I know, and the whole like Bakugo Uraraka fight.
Okay, that fight, like he didn't go easy on her, but like I'm really glad that she stood her ground. Like she's not like I'm just gonna like stand back and like, you know, like I realized like, oh, he's too strong, like I can't take him on. No, she did her best, and she was crazy. I was so proud of her. I was like,
I know.
Bro.
And Bakugo like he went hard on her because he knew she was competition. Like
yeah. Well, that's the thing, and like I just like seeing them like evolve to this extent is so cool. Like I've always enjoyed that. Like I love like the whole like learning aspect of anime, like when they have to go like through their training and you see their development. Like you don't just see them be like this like badass individual who's like, oh, I'll just like destroy everything in one hit. It's like, no, like you need to lose. Like I need to see you fail. But okay, so you watched the My Hero movie, you watched the romance movie. Anything else been on your watch list?
Before My Hero Academia, I watched the Reincarnated as a Slime, but then like I watched My Hero Academia, it's so much better, so I never went back to watching.
I think we mentioned this like last episode too, where like the reincarnation of like a slime or whatever, like that slime anime, it really didn't get me. I just
like I liked it. Like I was like working at the same time. It was because
background
like
noise?
I had my lap. It wasn't background noise because I followed the story and I liked it. Like I was like, oh, it's so flashy and he transforms into like big badass stuff. But then like I got weirded out by the like episode 8 where he suddenly the like spoilers
spoilers.
The girl dies and he eats her
Oh, and then he becomes her, right?
Yeah, but it was so sudden. Like he had a vision of like somebody that would be with him forever, and I get this sort of like a link they made with that by eating her, I guess. But like, I don't know. I thought they were gonna build a relation. If you're gonna kill her, give me some emotion.
I know.
She died, and I was like, okay. I was expecting something big from her. Like we saw her whole backstory, how it was like emotional. But then like she died, and I was like, oh.
No. And then she just, oh my god, she did.
she did, and then he ate her, and I'm like, oh my god.
As long as no Todoroki spoilers don't get brought up. I mean, like, you've seen the anime though. Like, I mean, personally, like for me, like I can talk about like how much I appreciate like Todoroki's like development and like just like the writing that they've done for him. I feel like he's a very well-developed character, and a lot of people I find that dislike him, they don't realize that like they can relate to him. Like, you have been a Todoroki at some point in your life. Like, you cannot deny that. Where it's like you feel like you've been like either told that you're supposed to be something you're not, or you're forced to do like you're even if like your parents have like made you feel like you're not good enough or you're supposed to be something like this. It's like I feel like Todoroki has like helped a lot of like help people see like you were probably him at one point, and you finally have been able to figure out who you are as an individual. You know, because like there's so many aspects of Shoto that like you just don't realize that you can relate to him. Maybe that's just me, but I just feel like everybody has been able to like relate to him, and even if they disagree, like you could probably bring it up, 100%.
It's true. Shoto is like there's so much. I don't know how to explain it. There's like so much that happened to him that makes it valid how he feels, and it's not just like, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So you watched Slime. Anything else?
No, I try to rewatch Fairy Tail, but in English. But then I was like, ugh.
So, okay, if we're gonna get on the topic of Fairy Tail, we're gonna be here a while, because like I'm on the Fairy Tail hype train right now, and I've been reading the manga because I just don't have time to watch like 300 episodes.
Oh yeah, I get it.
Whereas like the manga, like I'm able to like get through, and I'm currently like almost like I'm like, you know, the part where like it's like the Grand Magic Games, and then it's like the part where like they go to like deal with like the issue that's going on with the like after like during the Grand Magic Games.
Mm-hmm. So
like I'm like right at that point where like shit's going down and it's very stressful. I don't know, I just like I love Fairy Tail so much, and like I'm sorry, I'm gonna say spoiler right now. The one thing that really frustrated me, but like the most recent thing, is like when Future Lucy comes and Natsu's like so like sweet and romantic towards her because he's like, thanks for coming back in the past and like saving us, like putting his forehead to her. And then Kura and Lucy's just like standing there, and I'm like,
that's me.
Give that to her. I was so upset. But like seeing her like blush at him doing that, I was like, okay. But like it's so weird how I'm like, I like have like a religion based on me shipping them together. Like I literally worship that ship with my life. Like I give my soul to Nalu. Like they're like just anyway.
Oh my, I feel you. When I first time I watched Fairy Tail, oh my god. Like the very first second I was like,
it's just like why the hell are you not kissing yet?
I know. But it kills me. Like all these episodes later, still
there's just like so many things that like it shows like I feel like they show their feelings for each other away from each other. Like even when there was like the one magic game where like Lucy was in that like water ball and like Minerva messed her up.
I know.
I was like, shit. And like Lucy was like, like unconscious with like a broken back essentially. And Natsu was like freaking out. And then like I'm like, okay, but like you should like go, like he jumps down and then like he goes and like yells at Minerva instead. And I'm like, she's like literally on the ground, like barely alive. They even state that like she almost didn't even live if Wendy and like Shira, I think her name was, if they weren't there. And I'm like, huh. Like, okay, fine. But then like even like afterwards, Lucy is asleep. And they show like a one like little panel where like she says Natsu's name in her like while she's asleep, and I'm like,
oh my god, this scene I wanted to, and the other scene where she I don't know if you watched the whole battle thing.
I did.
Where
like,
she fights the girl with the long hair.
That was so messed up.
And I was so mad because I was waiting for Lucy to be like powerful. And because, you know, she's always kind of...
Okay, when she started, like, summoning that stuff, I was, like, so hyped. And then she just, like,
I know, and I was like, yeah, do it. I was so hyped. So, oh my god, you don't have no idea. I had so many emotions out of me. And I was
know.
Like, because,
like, I agree, too. Like, I find, like, Lucy is very weak. And especially, like, she does, like, when she doesn't have her keys, she's just completely useless. And it makes me sad because, like, I want Lucy to be up there, but it's hard because she has those limitations of her keys. Whereas, like, that water fight, she lost because Aquarius was like, oh, I got a date, bye.
I know.
And like, that's why she lost. Like, she doesn't have any other water, like, spirits with her. And it was like, what are you doing? Like, Aquarius, like, you're rude.
I wish they give her, like, more keys or something. Or, like, at some point she's able to summon two at the same time.
But I was so hyped for her to summon that one special ability. I was like, yes, like she's gonna do something awesome. And then she just nope.
The dude that cheated. Oh my god,
I was so mad. But like, okay, the other thing that like kind of frustrates me is like Lucy's still getting left in the dust in terms of like power and abilities. But Wendy's starting to get up there, for me anyway. Because, like, Wendy was, like, so weak, too. Like, she was just, like, crying all the time and just being like, oh, heal you.
Child.
Yeah.
She's still a child.
She's still a child, but, like, I feel like she's able to, like, hold her own, like, moving forward. Whereas, like, Lucy, it's like, as soon as those keys are gone, she's just like, well, rip.
I know. But the thing is, like, because, like, Wendy is a, how do they call it? Dragon Slayer?
Yeah, she's like the Wind Dragon Slayer.
So that, I mean, you can explain why, but I feel like, I don't know, they put so much emphasis on Lucy's family generation, on how they're like powerful and more powerful, and even then she's still so weak, and it pisses me off. I was really, and she's like the main character. You see her like at the beginning of the first episode, and they made it so much about Natsu, and they never gave her power, and it became a meme like Sakura and Naruto. Like,
I know, like, I mean, like, I know that it's gonna become like a Sakura thing where like Lucy's
but
gonna
Sakura
be able to
now and like Boruto, she's
nutty, like she's crazy. Even like even before Boruto, like when she like I think it was like I don't know if it was like the start of Shippuden, but like when she fights that weird puppet guy.
Yeah, it's like with middle Shippuden.
Yeah,
kind of?
She ends up like fighting him with that other chick, or I don't know if it's like another, like it's like the old lady.
It was an old lady.
Yeah, and like she was like really impressing me there because like she was like doing really well, especially against him. But like one thing that I hate is like Fairy Tail like has like so many like strong like dragon slayers everywhere, and it's like then there's Lucy. And Lucy's like, I have keys. And you're like, it's hard for her to compete with, like, for example, like Urza. Like, you can't compete with Urza. You can't compete with, like Julia. Like, Julia's, like, insane.
I know, and, like why? It's not because they're Dragon Slayer, they're, like normal people.
Yeah, like, because, like, comparing to, like, a Dragon Slayer, like, they're strong. But, like, even, like, for example, like, I think they even went over, like, I don't know if, like, Levy is a good comparison, because like Levy, like she's more like
really supportive kind of.
She's not really like one to like do like attacks and stuff. Like she's not like,
but she's super smart.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. I just like, I feel like it's very hard for Lucy to compete. And like, I know that she'll get better, but like, it's still like, But yeah, okay, so here's a fairy tale. That's what I've been doing for a fairy tale. I'm also like, I know that there's a lot of like winter anime that's been coming to an end recently. So like, we have like, you know, like Shield Hero coming to an end. And like, I tried to watch Shield Hero. I even tried to read the manga. And I just can't, because I find like the characters are so predictable. Like, oh, like I have this person to save. Or like, the villains are so petty and like predictable in that sense. And it's just like, it's just like, it's so frustrating. Cause like, I can't get into it. Cause I find it so like cheesy.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I wasn't like a huge fan of that. But then anyway, so like I started watching Fruits Basket, like the new
Oh, the new one. I watched the old one.
So like the new one's really cool, but I'm getting kind of like a it's gonna like I feel like it's gonna be like a very sad anime.
Well, the old Fruit Basket was kind of sad, no?
I never watched the old one.
Oh, it was sad.
Like, this one is just like a remake with like new art.
Okay, kind of like the thing they did with Sailor Moon.
Yeah, like they're just like redoing it so that it's like more like up to date looking, I guess. Because like the original art, like it looks like it's very old. So it's kind of like nobody wants to watch it, right?
I watched it like years ago.
Like it was a while. So like I'm enjoying Fruits Basket, but I also feel like it's very like it's gonna be like hella sad. Cause like I've seen 3 episodes of it, and I'm like I think I've cried like twice. Like at least like I haven't cried, but like I've had like tears build up. So it's like I just like I don't know. I think it's gonna be an emotional anime. I don't know what to expect from it, but like I'm getting like a I don't want to say like Angel Beats, but I feel like they're gonna like hit us hard with some information.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the anime.
It's been a while. The other one that I've been doing is like I've been catching up with like Persona 5 because like Persona is like one of my favorite series, and like the anime's just like so good. Like I like the music is something that like I listen to the mix like so frequently, and I love it so much.
I've never played Persona 5. Like Persona, I just never. Like...
But there's like multiple games for Persona. Like there's 5 Persona games, but I think they've only done anime or like anime based off of them for like 3, because they have Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5 that they have animes or movies for. So it's like I don't know, it's really good. I really like it. I still have like one more episode to go.
Like what kind of gameplay is it? Like how like.
It's very like turn-based in terms of battling, but it's also like in order to quote unquote like get better with your team for like leveling them up, there's a lot of like things you have to do outside of the world of like battling. So like you have to go like, you know, like go hang out with your friends at like this ramen shop, and you start to like talk to them, and you start building like those like emotions with them and connections with them, and like then you go into something called like a mementos, but it depends on like which game you're playing, and then like you're able to like build like those better bonds with them in order to be stronger. It's really weird to say.
I think I can picture it. That I've played games like that before, where like you have like the main kind of part of the game, but then you do side quests and hanging out with like people, and then level 2 bond with this person.
Yeah, it's like
you
that
have
too.
a buff, whatever.
And like the other thing as well is what I like about them is instead of doing like animated cutscenes, they use cutscenes that are like look like they're from an anime. So like they take scenes from that. It's like you're watching an anime, and it's like so sick, and I love it so much.
They did that with the Naruto games.
Yeah.
And that's how I finished watching Shippuden.
Yeah, like it was so much fun. But I don't know. I always recommend, like, if you're gonna start playing Persona games, I recommend starting with 4. It is like the graphics are a little outdated, but it's still like it's still great. Like I don't know, it's like the games are amazing, and I highly recommend it to people. And especially like I recommend playing the games before watching the anime, because like I feel like people who haven't played the games won't enjoy the anime as much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. Like same thing for Ace.
Yeah.
The game is so good. I had it on like 3DS or whatever.
Didn't they come up with like a Switch one recently?
I don't know. Maybe I haven't seen it.
Oh.
but I did play like a few of the games on the 3DS, and it's so good. And like.
See, that's the one that like I never really got into. Was like the Ace Attorney games, and I like what's it about? Like, aren't you just like a lawyer?
Yeah, you're like it's all about mystery, and you have to like each like episode of the game, you walk around and you find clues, and then when you come to the stadium, you have to think about like pretty much every time you're at the stadium thing, your client is always not guilty, but they're always framed. So you have to think about, and you have like lives, so you can't fuck up too many times, and you have to think about what in his testimony doesn't make sense. So it's all about like collecting clues and remembering them, and then trying to figure out. It's very like not puzzle, but like investigation and stuff like that. Like you have to look at the clues and be like, oh,
see,
okay.
When it comes to like clues and stuff like that, like did you ever play Danganronpa? Or watch the anime for it?
I watched something of Danganronpa. I think it's the anime, like the first season, and then I watched like the gameplay of the second season.
So like,
but yeah, it's just like that.
Danganronpa. So I'm someone who's like, I'm very sheltered when it comes to like spooky stuff. Like even like the simplest spooky thing, like I'm like there's murderers like everywhere. Like I'm gonna die. All this stuff. So. I remember I was like, I've been told that I would really like Danganronpa, because like I've always enjoyed like dark, like crime type animes, like like Psychopaths for example. Like I absolutely love Psychopaths. Like it's one of like my favorites. And they're like, oh, like if you like that, like you like Danganronpa. And I was like, okay. So I'm playing it, and like my apartment was very dark at the time because I think it was like raining or something like that, and like all my curtains were closed. And like there was like a really messed up like murder scene that happened in Danganronpa at the time.
They're all messed up.
Yeah, they're so messed up, and it freaks me out. Like and I was like, oh, like I want to go grab a coffee. So then like I took my headset off like after I just witnessed like the body. And then like I look over towards like the hallway, and it's like this dark, like ominous like hallway. And I was like, maybe I don't need a coffee, and I put my headset back on.
Maybe I'm gonna stay
I
here.
was so freaked out. I don't know. But it's weird because like I enjoy it. I don't know. It's weird. But like
Danganronpa is more like a thrill kind of game.
Yeah,
and
it's more like
horror and jump scare and stuff.
I personally felt that like the first Danganronpa though, like the murders and like the aspect of like the killing of like how they did it was more gruesome than they did in the second one.
I think the thing with Danganronpa is like the first season is all about shock, you know? You started, you don't know what to expect, and then you're like, bam, murder, bam, what's happening? What am I doing? Why am I in school? What is this? And then the second season, you're kind of used to it. You're like, oh yeah, okay, it's murder.
Yeah.
We don't exactly know why or when or who. Well, we know who kind of, but
yeah, I just always found like when it comes to like trying to like figure out like who the killer was, like it stressed me out because there were so many like timer based things, and I was like, like I can't handle the pressure at all.
Just pause the game. You're breathing.
Yeah. Okay, but
yeah,
like,
I don't like
well, I was gonna say like when it comes to like video games turned to anime, like do you like when when anime gets turned into video games or like vice versa sort of thing?
I tried to watch Ace Attorney anime, and it was actually like it wasn't bad, but I was a bit like what made me go like meh was when I started it, they show off right away who's the killer, and in the game they make sure to hide it. But then I watched the second episode, and they hated the second episode, so I was like, oh, okay, it's not too bad. It's very similar to the game. I think it's fine. I'm not against, like, it really depends if they kind of like screw up the story or how they present it.
See, that was a big thing for me, like especially like with the Sword Art games. I don't know if you ever played them.
I haven't.
Don't. Just don't.
Don't.
I found that it was so annoying because like it doesn't stay true to the anime in the sense that like Kirito is like flirting with everyone, and like and like the gameplay itself, like just like the mechanics of the gameplay are so bad to me. Like I couldn't even get through like a half an hour playing because I thought it was so bad. But then like you play games like, for example, like Persona. Like I enjoyed Persona like for what it was, and like I felt that the anime stayed true to it. But then you get like other anime games like Naruto, like the Naruto games, or like, you know, the Dragon Ball Z games, and like even like Jump Force. Like I find like that's okay because they're just like, it's just like a fighting game, and they're just like taking those characters and then they're fighting against them. So I don't think that there's like a huge issue with that. But like when it comes to like, for example, like your Ace Attorney game, it's like, okay, yeah. But like what?
I think it's very important when the whole anime is kind of based on fighting, or, you know, like the basic stuff, but like not deep stuff. It's kind of like you can make anything around it. But when it's like an anime, very like deep and mental, and it's very important to like project the image of what you would be thinking while playing it and what you think while watching it. Like I played Hyperdimension Neptunia, like
I loved those games.
And I loved it. And it's not even like it doesn't give you the same vibe as the anime at all. Like the anime is kind of like it's like kind of like happy, a lot of how do you call that, not nudity, but fan service.
Fan service? Yeah.
Yes, it's a lot of fan service. Sometimes I would like once particularly you see like the little monster thing crawling up her dress. You're like, oh, okay. but the game were really good. I loved it, and it's really not the same as the anime. It is. I mean, it's based on the same thing, but the way they took it, it's much more nice because you actually go on quests and kill stuff and raise the like popularity of the like the cities. While in the anime, it's kind of like it's very short, I think, from what I remember. Yeah, and it's like, very like basic.
I kind of agree with you. Like I just find like when video games have turned into anime, like they just like they need to realize like the reason, like I don't want to say like the reason they're doing it, but like even like the Attack on Titan game, like that was so bad. Like that was just so bad, and it's like I just feel like there's some anime you just gotta like leave alone. Like there's some anime like you just gotta like leave it. You can't make an anime out of it. You gotta stop. Like there's like too far, and then you just gotta let it go.
When Attack on Titan came out like years back, I remember like there was a browser game of Attack on Titan. Really? And it was actually good, and you were like nothing. Like the Titans were like white and like no hair, and it was kind of like walking blocks. But you had your little character. You had like what's his name? Levi?
Oh, there's Levi, but then there's Aaron. Like Aaron's the main guy.
Aaron, Levi, and then Mikasa.
Yeah.
Like that was the three characters you could play, and it was actually like enjoyable. The only thing you could do was like jump around and slice like the neck of the Titans. But it was, I remember back then for me it was so stressful. It was like a stressful game because I didn't want to get eaten by the Titans. And some of them jump and they're so scary, and it was very stressful. But it was actually fun. I haven't played the real game though, but that game was
I think what it comes down to when it comes to like anime turned to video games, I also find like another reason that like kind of like turns me away from them, like I said, is like the gameplay mechanics itself. Like just like the controls of it, like I'm like, or like even the UI, like it's just like it's always so awkward. to use, and like you get very confused on like what you're looking at and like what you're not. Like I don't know. I just I've always like disliked that.
I'm not sure if it's maybe like the like Japanese games, but it's like a lot of games that come from like a Japanese game on the phone, for example. I feel like they're what you called it like UI.
Yeah, like the UI of them are very...
It's always like packed and so many things, and you don't know what's happening, and they're like, here, you do this, and then you don't remember. You don't even remember how to do it after. But they're like, and you can't have this, and this does this, and woo woo woo.
Yeah. But like,
what is happening?
Even when it comes to like stuff like that with Japanese games, like I find like even like Monster Hunter, like I don't understand their menu. Like it was like so hard to maneuver.
Oh my god, Monster Hunter! I thought I would love it because I love dragons and dinosaurs. Like I love it, and the art is beautiful. But I tried playing it, and it just wasn't my style. It was weird.
Yeah.
The whole fighting, the aiming. Like I tried to like apparently like the bow is the hardest weapon, but I love playing with bows.
I know.
Like I'm like always either healer or archer, and I try to play it, and I don't know. It was weird. Like the whole, I don't know. It was very weird to me. Like the game was weird.
I find like anime games, like they tend to like, they just kind of throw me off like the way Monster Hunter did, and that's probably like the best like example to give to relate it to. It's just like they both have that aspect of like, what is going on?
I know.
But
yeah.
Anyway, we'll get back to like the first thing that we started talking about, like what we've been watching. I've also, because One Punch Man season 2 started, I've been watching that, and like I forgot how great it is and like how over dramatic it is. And it's like I still love the fact that they make fun of like how theatrical in terms of like it being like crazy, like over the top with like fighting and stuff like that. Like they make fun of it with that, and I like it. But the one thing with like One Punch Man is like, I don't know if you've seen the art for it, but the guy has like this like blank, like really badly drawn face. And I guess like, so one thing that like I've always like been curious about is like, are you one to judge a show based on its art? Like kind of like judging like a book by its cover? But have you ever judged an anime based on its like art?
I have, but like not always. Sometimes sometimes the art doesn't bother me, but when I don't know what I want to watch, and I'm looking, like I'm just scrolling through like a bunch of anime, if it's not something that attracts my eye, I'm not gonna be tempted to watch it. Like if you show me a scene of One Punch Man, you tell me, oh, it's really good, and like even if the graphic, for example, is bad, I would still watch it. I'd be like, okay, I'll try it, and then like the story is good and whatever's happening is good, so I would like it. But if I'm looking for something that I don't know what I want. I just don't know. So I'm just scrolling through things. I'm gonna look for something that looks good to me, I guess.
Yeah, like I want to like, for me, like I do the same thing, like where I'm scrolling and I'm kind of judging an anime by its cover art, in the sense of like, for example, like Mob Psycho. Like when I see that art, I'm like, oh, that looks really weird. Like I don't know if I want to watch that or not, because I'm very like, I don't know, I don't want to say like I'm very picky when it comes to that. Like I need an anime to look visually appealing to me. And so it's like with with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh my god, JoJo.
Like the art is just like it turns me away, and I just like, I don't know, like even like Attack on Titan, it's like I started watching it and I was like, oh, this is so cool, and then they just show like the Titans, and I'm like, what?
What is
like,
this?
What the hell am I watching right now? I don't even understand. But like, I don't know. I just find that like different art for anime, like it does definitely throw me off. So it's like, I don't know, like I don't know if that's bad, because like everybody's like, oh, like it's so good, but I'm like, but it looks so bad.
And like I agree with you, and there's a lot of anime that I wanted to watch, but then I was like, like what really gets me in an anime is when like I'm more of like a fantasy type. Like I love like magic and
I do too.
and stuff like that. That's my jam. And I really I love anime with like flashy like magic effect, you know? Kind of like Fairy Tail, I loved it for that. You know how they
yeah, they're also very over the top with their fighting as well. Like they have these explosions that just like it's like the whole earth like just blew up. But and it's so well done, like visually.
Yeah, and Lucy when she does her spell, it's so beautiful.
I know.
You know when she did like the like we talked about it earlier, the comet kind of spell with her. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. The stars and everything. That's my jam.
That's my jam. But like I find like with the genre of fantasy, there's so many animes that are coming out or have already been put out that like they really need to work hard, for me anyway, to stand out. So like you always have those anime that are like they're getting put into an MMO world and we gotta like level up through the world. Okay, but like it's been done so many times. So like I need you to stand out for me because you're not standing out for me right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's why like with the slime one, like I'm like I like it was so slow to start and I couldn't keep up with it. Like I was like I can't. It wasn't bringing me in.
I think that what I liked about the show was all the flashy spells. You know how like I don't know. I like the visual of the show. It was pretty. It was the whole like spell thing. He eats someone and then he transforms into a big and then like a big wolf or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah. And I think that's what kept me going, and not exactly the story itself.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't deep enough.
Yeah, and like even like going back to like the whole like MMO topic of like so we've had Sword Art, we've had dot hack, and we've had like even like that it's like my like journey to like the parallel worlds or whatever it's called, and I found that like there's just like nothing standing out anymore. It's just like oh we gotta get to the end game. And it's like,
yeah.
I need more, I think. And it's just because, like, you're just getting so many, like, different shows that are just, like, repeating itself. And it's like, ugh. However, there's this new anime out, and I'm gonna probably butcher the name. But it's Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba? And it's it's so different. And so, like, I wasn't expecting that because like so basically like what I've gathered from watching the first couple like episodes is like there's these things in the world, like there's these demons in the world that like they can like I guess like I don't know if it's like they poison them or they turn them into demons, but like the main character loses his family and his sister gets turned into a demon. And so like he wants to be able to turn her back into a human. So he has to like go train to become like stronger to like because like the demons are pretty messed up. And like he goes and like trains, but like the way that they do it is he's kind of like Midoriya, where like he has that purity to him where he doesn't want to, you know, like break. Like he literally has like trust in everyone, demon or not. And it's like he's got that Midoriya vibe to him. But like the one other thing that like has really brought me in is the art. So like they have like this really cool like anime style art and you're like, this is really cool. They have like these over the top fights. But in the intro, they have him like using his sword and there's like this really cool magic that comes around it that it looks like those old like Japanese paintings. So it's like they're combining both like the Japanese like old paintings into like current anime, and I'm like, bruh, like that's so good. I get so hyped, and I just like I don't know, I really like it. So like I've been watching that, but then like going back to like animes that just like aren't pulling me in, I started watching a new anime called Midnight Occult Civil Servants, and like the first episode was so random that I'm like, what the hell am I watching? Like I don't understand. Because it's like he's in like this like random world full of like a bunch of like mythical creatures that like only he can apparently see with like the other people in this like little group. And like it just is like so random to me. I don't know.
That's one thing. Like sometimes, some animes want to stand out so much that they have like this weird like special kind of bloodline thing. But sometimes it's just weird. It just doesn't even make
like
sense.
he has like a special power where like he can like hear them and like understand them, and I'm like,
but why?
but like there's no context. Like I just don't know. I just like, because like even the main character is confused AF, and it definitely relates to the viewers. I don't know what's going on. He doesn't know what's going on, and it doesn't work. So like I don't know. I feel like I'm very picky where it's like, if you don't pull me in the first episode, I'm not gonna continue. And maybe I shouldn't be that way, because I feel like I miss out like on a couple like good anime. But I think like
you should give yourself like the first 2 episodes. Usually...
I was gonna say like, because I don't know, like I'm like, do I want to waste my time with this? I don't know.
Yeah, I get it, but sometimes animes take like another episode to pull you in. The first episode like is but like I don't know. A lot of people judge animes on the first episode, so they should like make it so the first episode pulls everybody in, and then use the second episode as explanation, introduction.
I was gonna say like they probably take like the second episode to like more so explain a little bit more. But I think like when something like goes like so in depth, like the most recent season of Sword Art, like there's so much information, and then I get lost because I'm like, you're giving me too much all at the same time, and I'm trying to like focus on it, and I'm like, what's going on? So it's like,
yeah, that's like, there needs to be a balance. Like you want something that punch on the first episode that you're like, oh shit, oh my god, that's good, and then like information along the way of the episode.
I was gonna say like you can't rush something, and I think that's another reason like why I didn't like the Shield Hero, because they rushed a lot of things, and they're just like, oh well, this is happening now, and I'm like, what? Like I don't understand. Like what do you mean that she's like now like 17 when she was like 7? Like what? And they're like, well, she levels up, and I'm like, what?
What?
Hello? I don't know, it sucks because like I wanted to like Shield Hero, it's just like I just can't. I can't do it. Say a new season, they literally sat down. Yeah, like they took like one episode in the recent season of Sword Art to literally be like, alright, so like we're gonna have like a class here. Listen up, teacher's gonna teach stuff. And they took like a whole episode, and they're like the whole universe works this way, and you're like, excuse me, what?
like they do that. I don't know why they do that. Maybe it's to like save time. I don't know. Like
I think they could, like it's more pacing that they need to focus on.
You can't just like go and like give like, and there's an order, like a order you should give information. You can't just go and be like, oh yeah, she levels up, and you're like, what, why, and then tell the people, oh yeah, by the way, this is like in this world people can level up. Like you can't tell like she leveled up and then explain that people can level up. I don't know if you get it.
Yeah, no, like, I do. It's like they just kind of like they throw information at you, and you're like, wait, what? And it's not like, for example, in an anime where they're like, oh, like he can use this magic, and you're like, but how? And then like, even the main character doesn't understand it. So then like he goes through the process of trying to find that answer, and it's like it's paced out more. So it's like,
yeah.
I just think that that's better to do, rather than just being like, okay, this is how everything works. And you're gonna be like, what?
One thing that bothers me, like it's not really like we're not really exactly talking about this, but when when something happens for the like main character and they kind of like it's not normal, you know, like it's like it's me, I walk the street and like I see like a ghost, and when the character are really like accepting of it instead of being like freaked out. Like, no, you walk the street, you see like a ghost, you don't go talk to the ghost. And some anime do that, and I'm like, impossible. You can't have like somebody like so like out of nowhere accepting of like weird shit happening.
Weird shit.
if it's like one manga I read, which they made it really short, but it made sense. It was that like the little girl, she could see like demons, like yokai, but she could see them since she was like almost not born, but like 1 year old, and she at first she didn't understand this, so she made friends with the demon, and then she got used to it. You know, she kind of like understood what they were, but the anime starts and she's already like 17 or whatever, and they kind of like they take like 2 minutes to tell you how and why she's used to these monster, like seeing them all everywhere. But like you take a normal character, never saw any demon or something, and then suddenly they see a demon, they're like, oh yeah, that makes sense. They're like, what? No,
hello. Like, yeah, they just kind of like they're not only throwing the main character into something random, but they're also throwing the viewers into something random. So then, like, not only like is the main character confused, the viewers are confused, and we're all confused, and the only people that aren't confused are the creators.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, that works, and you're like, what?
They're all gonna get it like 6 episodes later. It doesn't matter. Go.
Yeah. It'll make sense in the future, and it's like,
in the future.
No,
like people are gonna do recaps on YouTube, and everybody's gonna understand.
Yeah, like they didn't like sense. I don't know, and like that's true. Like United said, like we're gonna like people do enjoy like searching things up online. Like I do. I like looking up things online. Like I like researching more into it. But I think that there should be like a base information of what they're talking about. You know? Like I feel like you should have like a base of information. Rather than like I shouldn't have to go look up every single thing. Like I should have like a base of that information.
Yeah,
first.
And like sometimes you miss information, but it's like either subtle or it's kind of like it's not really important, and it's the kind of thing I like to look up. You know, I go like on like Wikipedia or like a fan page Wikipedia, and I'm like, oh shit, that's his sister? What?
Yeah, you're like, hello, like I like finding that information out, but not like what we should have already known. You know,
like not an information I need to know to understand.
Yeah. All right, so we're getting close to the end here. I'm gonna try something new, and we're gonna recommend an anime for people to watch.
Yes,
so we're gonna try doing that. So what's your recommendation for everybody to watch?
I'm probably gonna butcher the name, but it's called The Ancient Magus Bride.
Oh my god, I've been wanting to watch that.
It's so good.
It's so good. Just like turns into like this demon. Like Sugar can see dead people. Okay, guys. She can see demons.
They take over.
Yeah, they take over.
Oh, it's so good, and the art is like I literally read the manga before the anime was out, and I loved the manga. And when I saw the anime was out, like I'm gonna watch it. Like I know what's happening, but the art is so beautiful. Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'm gonna say for my recommendation for people, I really highly recommend watching One Punch Man because of its humor. And just because, like, if you've watched anime so much, and, like, you've seen, like, a lot of anime, like Attack on Titan or Dragon Ball Z or Fairy Tail or anything like that, you're going to, like, especially, like, even, like, My Hero Academia, like, I feel like you're going to enjoy One Punch Man just because, like, it takes these, like, serious animes of, like, Attack on Titan, like, all this stuff, and they make fun of it. And it's, like, I love the comedic relief with One Punch Man. And, like, especially, like, with season 2, like, they are going all out as well. And, like, I'm just gonna say this, like, they have Shoto's voice actor in it. So, like, you know. So, that is a treat and a half. I do highly recommend One Punch Man. But, I guess that's it for the second episode of the podcast. think we're gonna end it here. But thank you guys so much. We will be uploading this to YouTube as well as we still need to look at like other platforms we want to put the podcast onto.
Yes.
And if you guys enjoyed it, make sure you drop a follow to Sugar as well as this channel. Make sure you guys drop all the follows.
Everywhere. Just
everywhere. Like all the social media. It's fine. It's fine. Our next episode we have decided will be on, I believe, May 8th. 10 a.m.
Yes.
Yeah, May 8th, 10 a.m. EST. Yeah. So if you guys enjoyed it, thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys later.
Yes. Well, yeah. Bye.